What if I told you that one of America's most iconic truck designs, a design that literally defined what a pickup truck looked like for generations, suddenly vanished? No announcement, no ceremony, no final farewell, just gone. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating evolutions and extinctions in automotive history: the dramatic rise and slow disappearance of the Stepside pickup truck. And trust me, the real reasons behind its death aren't what most people think. That was the last time a factory-built Stepside pickup truck rolled off an American assembly line. It was a Ford F-150, the final survivor of a design that had lasted nearly 90 years. Chevy had already dropped out a few years earlier. Dodge abandoned the Stepside decades before that, quietly without drama, back in the 1980s. And that leaves us with the question, why did Stepside trucks die out? Why did something loved, nostalgic, useful, and so intertwined with American culture simply fade away? To answer that, we have to rewind time, not by years, but by generations. If you go all the way back to the early 1920s, the American pickup truck wasn't a symbol of lifestyle or status. It wasn't something you modified, lowered, lifted, chromed, or paired with a V8 to flex at car meets. A truck was a tool, a farm tool, a utility machine, a work mule on four wheels. And back then, there wasn't even a debate about bed styles. Because the Stepside wasn't an option, it was the truck bed. Period. Why? Because the earliest truck beds were built for one purpose: affordability and simplicity. Manufacturers placed the fenders outside the cargo box. That meant the inside walls of the truck bed could be flat, straight, and easy to manufacture. No curves, no special molding, no complex stamping dies. Just simple geometry, simple steel, simple assembly. Fewer pieces, fewer welds, fewer curves meant lower production cost, faster assembly, lighter weight, easier repairs, less steel used, and higher profits. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't stylish. It was practical. And the step, the narrow platform between the cab and wheel fender, wasn't some design flex. It was purely functional. It allowed workers to step up and reach into the bed without climbing over the side. Everything about the early Stepside trucks came from utility and cost efficiency. To put it bluntly, the Stepside existed because manufacturers were cheap. Building a modern, flat-sided fleet-side style bed would have been too expensive and completely unnecessary in an era where trucks were sold to farmers, laborers, and small businesses, not suburban families. But the world was about to change, and trucks were about to change with it. For decades, trucks looked like, well, trucks: functional, conservative, boxy, similar across brands. But by the mid-1950s, America was entering a new era of design and optimism. Cars were getting fins, chrome, two-tone paints, wraparound windshields, and curves. Suddenly, style mattered, and trucks weren't immune. Chevy wanted to stand out. They wanted to make a truck that didn't just work, but looked good. And in 1955, they tried something bold: the Chevrolet Cameo Carrier. A truck that didn't look like a farm machine. A truck that didn't look like its great-grandfather from the 1920s. A truck that actually looked modern, sleek, smooth, and even luxurious. The Cameo replaced the traditional Stepside look with a smooth, slab-sided rear end. The fenders were flush. The lines were clean. The bed looked like part of the body, not an afterthought. Two-tone paint, chrome trim, fiberglass panels, a futuristic vibe. It was gorgeous. A truck dressed like a Bel Air coupe. Visually, it was revolutionary. But functionally, it was kind of fake. Underneath that modern exterior was the same old narrow Stepside bed. The same utility structure. The same limited cargo width. Chevy had put modern styling on top of old engineering. And although the truck was beautiful, it didn't revolutionize practicality. Still, it opened the door. In 1957, Dodge responded with the D100 swept side. But instead of designing new bed panels, they literally bolted the rear quarter panels from a two-door station wagon onto the bed of a truck. It had fins. It had curves. It had flair. It was also heavy, awkward, and not very useful. Another styling experiment that didn't move the needle. But someone was about to move the needle. While Chevy and Dodge were still experimenting with fashion trucks, Ford did something different. They didn't decorate a stepside bed. They reinvented the truck bed, introducing the Ford Styleside, a bed built from scratch to be wider, flatter, more practical, more aerodynamic, and fully integrated into the truck body. The wheel wells were now inside the bed, not outside. This gave the truck smooth exterior sides and more cargo volume. This wasn't a styling gimmick. It was the future. And instantly, Ford had the most modern truck on the market. Chevy panicked. Dodge scrambled. Everyone rushed to catch up. Because for the first time, the stepside wasn't the default anymore. It was becoming the old way, the past, a relic. By 1958, Chevy launched the Fleetside. GMC launched the Wideside. Dodge released a redesigned swept line. International joined the movement. In just a few years, every major brand offered two choices: stepside, traditional, and Styleside/Fleetside/Wideside, modern. And consumers were voting with their wallets. The Fleetside look was modern, sleek, and spacious. The stepside look? Still beloved, still iconic, but slowly losing ground. By the mid-1960s, something else became clear. Most trucks were being designed first as Fleetsides, with stepside versions tacked on afterward. Look at the 1965 Ford F-100 or the 1965 Chevy C10. Both are gorgeous trucks, but their stepside versions clearly weren't the designer's first priority. The lines didn't match perfectly. The stepside looked slightly grafted on. Trucks were evolving. The stepside wasn't. Even as Fleetsides dominated the market, the big automakers didn't want to abandon the enthusiasts. Dodge embraced the stepside look with some of their most legendary sport trucks: the Little Red Express, the Midnight Express, and the Warlock. These trucks wore their stepside flares proudly and turned them into a statement of attitude. Chevy and Ford kept their stepsides too, especially in shortbed models where they still looked fantastic. But demand was shrinking, technology was advancing, and consumers were changing. By the mid-1980s, Dodge quietly pulled the plug. Ironically, the rounded designs of the late 1990s and early 2000s gave the stepside trucks one last breath of fresh air. The curves matched the flared stepside beds. The proportions made sense again. They didn't feel like afterthoughts. The second-gen Ford SVT Lightning looked incredible as a stepside. Chevy's early 2000s sportside bed trucks looked sharp too. But nostalgia wasn't enough to save the design. Because by this time, Fleetsides had been the standard for 50 years. Over 90% of buyers wanted maximum cargo space. Aerodynamics mattered for fuel economy. Emissions regulations pushed for efficiency. And tooling two bed styles doubled manufacturing cost. And the stepside was the less practical, less efficient, less aerodynamic option. It was beautiful, but it didn't make business sense. Chevy dropped it in 2006. Ford dropped it in 2009. And just like that, the stepside era ended. Today, trucks still acknowledge their roots, sort of. Rear bumper steps are now built directly into many modern pickup designs. You get some of the access convenience without sacrificing cargo volume, aerodynamics, or practicality. It's the logical evolution, but it isn't the same. The stepside bed, that charming, functional, iconic piece of American truck history, is gone. And realistically, we will probably never see a mass-produced stepside truck again. Maybe a one-off, maybe a limited edition, but never again as a mainstream product. And in many ways, that makes the stepside even more special. The stepside wasn't just a design. It was a story of how America worked, evolved, modernized, and changed its relationship with trucks. Some generations of trucks look perfect with a stepside. Some look better with a Fleetside, but each tells a piece of history. So now I want to hear from you. Which style do you prefer, stepside or Fleetside? And on which generation of trucks do you think each style looks best? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the evolution of truck design, hit that like button, share this video with another truck lover, and subscribe so you don't miss the next automotive story. Because trust me, the next one is going to surprise you. See you in the next ride.